In this webinar, you'll meet Juan and his mother Rosa, who has brought him to meet with Mr. Killen-Harvey for therapy. She is concerned that Juan is in trouble at the school and is spending most of his days alone in his room.
She's just blaming me for everything, like everything's my fault. But, I mean...
Is that what it feels like to you right now, that you're being blamed for everything?
Yep.
Yep. What do you hear Mom blaming you for?
Me acting up, her being nosy, her wanting to know everything that's happening. So, pretty much.
Okay. Looks like you had a little bit of a reaction to that. What did you just hear him say?
He said I'm being nosy.
You are.
Oh my God. I bust my ass going to work to provide a roof over your head, feed you, put clothes, the sneakers you wearing. I bust my ass to pay for all that. And I simply ask you to leave your door unlocked. But I'm being nosy. I'm checking in on my child. You are still my child.
Yeah, but you don't have to know everything I'm doing at every single moment. You don't.
You're embarrassing me. Acting out in school and having your teachers calling me left and right, principal calling me left and right. All that work, raising you up for nothing? Because you just want to act up because everybody's getting on your nerves. It's not your fault.
Okay.
What just happened there? You said okay, but your eyes didn't look like an okay.
Okay, let me ask you a question. If someone keeps bugging you and just keeps going, I'm supposed to just let it go? Just let it rock? No. If she's not letting it go, why should I? But I'm wrong, right?
Are you asking me that question, or are you asking Mom that question?
I'm just asking the question.
It sounds like it's an important question that you're asking.
Am I wrong, though, for how I'm acting? Am I?
There's ways to deal with whoever's irritating you. Are you serious right now? You can talk to somebody or remove yourself. You can do certain things.
I did remove myself, and yet I still got in trouble for it. You're telling me to remove myself, and I took that.
You can't just walk out of the class without telling your teacher why you're walking out of class. If somebody's irritating you, you need to speak up.
So I'm going to jump in here, because this sounds like something that maybe is an example of a bigger dynamic going on. So I'm missing a little bit of background information. So if one of you would help me out here. So something happened at school, and you ended up leaving the classroom at some point in time. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about what was going on?
Well, I was trying to do my work. Everybody in the class was being loud. So I took me and my stuff and walked out.
So when you made that decision to leave, can you talk us through the process a little bit? How did you come to that choice being the one that you thought, yeah, this is the one that makes sense. This is what I got to do right now?
Because you can't take your phone out, you can't listen to music, so I can't have anything to drown out the noise, so I have to deal with them all being loud, and the teacher just sits there and just lets them be loud. Mm-hmm. I took me, my stuff, and left.
Great. So, Mom, you got a call from the school, obviously, as a result of what happened?
Yes, but it's not the first phone call of him walking out. This is not the first incident of him acting out. This isn't just about a moment where, was there a substitute teacher that day? That's why everybody was loud? Substitute teacher, everyone's just acting out, and okay, that's fine. But to just walk out and just not listen to anybody? Come on now. You're that kid. You're the one that disrespects. You're the one that walks out. You're the one that doesn't listen.
How is that disrespectful? I'm just excluding myself from a situation.
There's a way to do that.
Yeah.
A better way to do that. You didn't think that through. You didn't. And stop talking about it like that's like the only thing you did. This is a combination of things you've been doing that got us here today. I need to learn something here because I'm not saying the right things to him. We're just not getting anywhere. I can't just drop him off anywhere and pretend that he's not my kid anymore.
Mm-hmm. You do it all the time with Dad. You just drop me off and just, that's not my problem no more, right?
Why didn't make you by myself? I didn't. Somebody else was in that room that night, okay? So he has responsibilities too. He has weight to carry too.
Yeah, okay.
Is it different when you get dropped off at Dad's? Is the experience different?
I mean...
You mean he does what he wants at his dad's house? Yeah.
What are you talking? How you go? What? I do what I want. Yep, you're right. I do what I want when I'm at my dad's house.
I have a hard time kind of believing that that's totally true. Help me out with that a little bit.
No, she said I do whatever I want at my dad's house. I guess that's true, right?
But that's what Mom said.
What she says goes.
Okay, but for right now, I'm asking you, for me, tell me a little bit about, if you want to, is it a difference at Dad's house than at Mom's?
I mean, yeah. He's like, he's worse. Like, there's her, and then there's him. He's so much worse. He's just angry all the time.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Nope.
Okay, I appreciate that. Mom, were you aware of that much? I know it looks like you have some feelings before we get to those, but just the fact that the dad is angry all the time. Had you heard that before?
I mean, I know he's bitter. I know that. He got to deal with that. I can't fix that man.
So I gotta deal with it too? So
He's
you
your
don't say
father. He's your father.
Okay. And you're my mom.
And it's court ordered. I have to drop you off. I have to.
Mom, I'm wondering if you want to hear more about what his experiences are at his dad's house.
She don't care. She don't care about him. She don't care about what happens when
Go
I'm
ahead,
there.
talk then.
She don't care about me.
Talk.
No.
But hang on. So sorry for interrupting you guys so much, but I think you're both trying to have a conversation here. And what I'm going to try to do, if you're okay with that, is to try to help you have that conversation a little bit better. So I'm going to try and change it up just a little bit, and let's just see what happens. See if it changes the conversation. It may or may not. So I heard that maybe there's some things that you would like to tell us about what goes on at Dad's house. But if I were you, I wouldn't want to tell those unless I thought somebody really wanted to know. And I'm wondering, Mom, do you really want to know what his experience is like when you drop him off at Dad's? Is that something
Other than complaining? Sure, I want to hear what's going on.
Okay.
Before everything happened, y'all was cool, right? Now that y'all divorced, have y'all ever actually tried to talk and have a conversation? Like actually sit there? Have you? No,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, I
Then you would know how he acts. You know how he talks and how escalated he could get, right? Mm-hmm. You don't see what happens. You're not there. So you trying to say that me going to my dad's house is nothing? That it's just peachy? That's funny. And the fact that just don't let being over there. I can't be over there no more.
What just happened?
I spoke like she wanted me to.
Okay. But you also just stopped yourself. What is it like being over there? Mom wants to know. I want to know.
It's like hell. Like my own personal hell, dog. That's why I would like to stay, cause with him, she's nicer with it. She just says to keep the door open. Nah, I don't even got a door. That door's gone.
And is it just that? Is it just there's no privacy in Dad's house?
It's not that. That's the most part of it.
I don't want him over there if that is how he's feeling. But I can only, if he doesn't tell me any specific things, how can I go to court and say that this is what he's going through? for them to change the paperwork and for them not to go over there no more. He's gonna fight me tooth and nail. And then here we go, every other month back in that damn building in the courthouse. Again, I just can't go to court and say, my son just simply hates going to his dad's house.
Right. So let's leave that part aside for the minute, okay? And I totally understand the frustration around all of that. But before we get to what can be done about it, I'm wondering if there's a way that you can let your son know that you heard what he said, that you have at least some understanding of how challenging and difficult it is for him to be at his dad's house, regardless of whether it can be changed or fixed. We don't need to get to that part yet. But this is part of the dynamic between the two of you that I think sometimes is missing. You talk at each other, but you don't talk with each other.
I heard you, and I want to fix this. See how my brain was working already? What am I gonna say in court? Because I want to fix this. I'm only one person, and you're not telling me much. You shut me out, and then you're mad at me for not changing the situation or fixing whatever is that you're feeling, but I'm not a psychic.
Okay, Mom, but go back to what did it feel like to hear him tell us what it's like at Dad's?
It makes me feel like I screwed this up.
So what's that feeling?
I feel like shit.
Okay. Okay. I appreciate that honesty. What's that feel like to hear your mom say that?
I don't want her to feel like shit, but like, fuck I'm gonna do about it.
Okay. But do you feel like she heard it this time? That maybe this time she heard it in a different way than she has in the past?
Kind of.
Kind of? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, so that's a start. You were trying to tell us something really important. And I think sometimes that you hold back some of those words because, first of all, you're not sure that people are listening to you, or maybe that even people care sometimes. And I heard Mom, and it sounds like you heard Mom say, I hear that, and it doesn't feel good what my son's going through.
I'm on your side. That's why I'm fighting for you. I didn't bring you here to irk you or to get on your nerves. I'm on your side. I want to make this right. I want you to feel good again. I want to feel good again.
Why him?
Why him?
Of all people, why him?
I was young and stupid. And he was different back then.
Seemed like he the same dickhead that I knew since I was a baby.
So how do you feel about the fact that your mom chose this guy?
I feel like she could do better. Because I know she's better.
So she deserves better than that as well. You both do. Mom, what's this like for you?
I just feel completely disconnected from him. I don't even know my kid right now. He's moving further and further, further away from me. And I don't like it.
But I also feel like, and tell me if this wasn't your sense, but I also feel like he just gave you a little bit of an opening into some part of himself that he's kept pretty much locked away. Did you see that opening, or was I the only one that saw it here?
I mean, probably just you, because I know he's not, I know he knows. I mean, that's not a secret, and we know his father can be a jerk.
So it's really frustrating for you to be in this position.
Right.
Now I'm wondering about your son being in this position as well. And again, I feel like we're just scraping the surface here in terms of other feelings that he may be having about all of this?
I don't really got feelings at this point.
Can you say that to me one more time, please?
Said I don't really got feelings at this point.
You don't have feelings. About anything or about this?
About anything.
About anything.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Look at me and look at you.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck can you do for a black kid? Please tell me that.
It's a great question. Okay, as part of my answer, can I ask you a question? Is that okay? Yeah. Do you feel like I've got no way to really understand what you're going through?
I mean, I'm pretty sure you got it way better than I did.
Okay. So if my circumstances are way different than yours, then there's really no way for me to understand the kind of hurt and anger and pain that you're going through.
Basically.
Yeah, I could see that. That makes sense to me. So if I were you, I'd be a bit hesitant about saying very much to me right now, because you're not quite sure that I get it, or I could get it. And I'm really glad you told me that, and that makes sense to me. Now, I can't change that I look different than you. I do. And my life is different than yours. And your mom's life is different than yours. But I can tell you that everybody knows pain. We've all got different kinds of it. I'd like to know what yours is, because it is different than mine. And I would like to know if there's a way that I and your mom can help you so that you don't have to deal with that pain so much all the time. But that's a big gamble on your part. Can you tell me a little more about the pain that you're going through?
Yeah, it's like to be a young black man in just America in general. Just to have everybody think that you're doing wrong. Everybody thinks you're guilty until you're proven innocent. Everybody. That's why everything pisses me off.
Yeah. What do you want to do with that? What do you want to do with all that anger?
Let it be gone.
I have a feeling you've tried that one. Does that work to say, okay, get rid of the anger, it's gone, I'll move on?
No.
No. How do you relate to his anger right now? What was that experience for you as a black woman in this world?
I can't be worried about everybody else. I can't. I could only be worried about myself. Whatever it is that rubbed me the wrong way, I'ma feel it, but I can't stay there.
Gotcha. Do you remember the feelings?
Yeah.
What were they?
Rage.
So there's rage. What else is there feeling-wise? Give me another feeling word. Mom said rage.
Tired.
Tired. Tired of what?
Just tired. Tired of being annoyed.
Yeah.
Tired of being tired.
Yeah. It wears you down, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Suggest another word, maybe right, maybe not. I see sad as well, as you say that. Does some of this make you just really sad?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. There's a lot of feelings in this room right now. Talked about a lot of anger. Talked about being sad. Talked about a lot of frustration. Talked about rage. This is a different conversation than we've had before. I don't know if the two of you were tracking it the way that I was. You both took a lot of risks today, with me and with each other. This doesn't clean everything up. This doesn't fix everything. This isn't done yet. But I think we made an opening here to another way to have the bigger conversation we need to have in this family. This isn't just about the surface stuff. You know that. Ma, you know that. This is about a lot deeper stuff. That's the emotional side. I'm also thinking back a little bit to how we began all of this. And while it's just one incident, it represents a lot more than that. And I was thinking about the door. I keep thinking about the door in my head. Yeah? You both sort of smile. But we've also got a real issue going on right now that's causing a lot of frustration for you, which is your desire to have a little bit of privacy in your own home. And I know, Mom, you have a lot of feelings about that and what that represents. But I'm wondering if this is a place where we could find some little bit of a middle ground around what you want and around what you want. What do you think, Mom?
I want to not get any phone calls from school. I don't want him acting out, and I don't want him disrespecting me.
Gotcha.
You want me to bend some rules for you? You want me to listen to what you're asking for? Are you listening to what I'm asking for? Because I'm not asking for much. I'm asking you to be a good student. I'm asking you to bring home good grades. I'm not asking for you to be perfect.
So what are you making of what you're hearing from Mom right now?
She wants me to try,
She wants you to try, okay?
like, try to communicate more, and try to, like, just do better.
So where's the middle ground in all of that?
Maybe if, like, she actually lets me close and lock my door, I can, like, have my time, and then I'll come out and actually talk to her, maybe.
Wow. So be a two-part deal?
Yeah, I'm trying to meet you halfway.
Okay.
So if I let you close the door,
All right,
you're saying you actually gonna talk to me?
I can try and, like, make an effort.
Okay. It don't have to be, this doesn't have to be hard. I'm willing to try something new, but no phone calls from school. I'm not trying to hear it.
But they're calling the littlest thing. I could cough.
I don't want to
and
hear
then
it. I don't want to hear about any little things, period.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to jump in again because this is what we talked about before. This is the pattern, right? So I don't want the success we just had getting lost in everything else. We just had a really important moment between the two of you, which is you found a middle ground, at least a proposal of a middle ground. So the idea being, make sure I got it right, we're going to try this week an experiment with allowing you to close the door in the bedroom for a period of time. So Mom's going to bend on that because that's a big deal. And then what I heard from you is you're going to bend in terms of making more of an effort to directly communicate with Mom. Is that right?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. So that's our experiment for the week, to see if we can do that and see what that looks like. So I want you to take care of yourselves when you leave here today. That may sound a little kind of strange, but what you just did, whether you know it or not, really can pull up some stuff for you. So go easy on yourselves, go easy with each other. Give yourselves some quiet time. I hear quiet time in my head, and I'm thinking about you with the noise and how sound sometimes can overwhelm you. So let's appreciate that quiet time. But there's going to be times when you got to talk. Mom will let you know those. All right. You two take good care of yourselves, and we'll see you next week, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thanks. At the outset of the session, and any time actually that I'm working with a family, I think the biggest challenge that I have going into it is trying to make sure that I provide a sense of balance for each member of the family. Each one has to believe that I understand them, that I hear them, that I'm on their side. And that's obviously more difficult to do when you have multiple people in a room. But particularly with this family, given the degree of stress and pressure and the fractured nature of this family unit, I was really cognizant going into it of trying to make sure that I was as strong an ally for each of them as I could possibly be. Juan, I think, represents very much what I see in many adolescents. He's the type of young person whose feeling states are often dismissed or minimized, sometimes even pathologized, but seldom actually taken seriously. And I tried very hard, and I hope that I had some degree of success of getting Juan to see that his feelings mattered, and they mattered to me, and I think they mattered to many other people as well, but as sort of that bridge. And so asking him questions that probed a little bit beneath the surface and not buying into, as typical for adolescents, the defensive posturing of giving a one-word answer or turning away and pretending that you don't want to talk about it. Many times we capitulate to that. And actually, if you hang in there, adolescents want to talk about their feelings. They really do. But they're also wise enough to know that they're not going to talk about them unless the other person really is going to listen and is going to respect that. Trying to move a parent from a critical mode and reactive mode to one in which they can actually form a bridge with their child is probably one of the biggest challenges, I think, that I encounter in working with families. This is where there's sort of a balancing act that has to happen. I tried really hard with Mrs. Perez to afford her the opportunity to express her frustration, to also afford her the opportunity to propose solutions to her son. But then I tried, and I hope gently, to encourage her to pull back a little bit and to not just go with the fix, to ease up, to see if she could allow some space for her son to actually explore and express his feelings to her and find ways in which she could sort of mirror those back. The parent, in a loving and protective way, wants to tell the child what to do instead of first listening for what the child's experience is, and then seeing if they're open to maybe some suggestions on what to do. Yeah, the open door situation was really such a lovely sort of metaphor, I think, for what was happening in this family. And every once in a while, as a therapist, you get a gift like that, where sort of unconsciously the client kind of puts that out there for you. So, we see this door that Juan, in so many ways, wants control over. On the surface, what he's saying is, I want to shut that door and hide behind it. But in reality, what he was saying to us is, I want to be recognized as an independent being, that has feelings and thoughts and experiences of his own. And then I want to decide who and when I open that door up to others. And so it just was sort of sitting there as one of those issues that you sometimes salivate for as a therapist to work with, and Mom's responsiveness to it was so wonderful as well. I think the hardest moment in the session, in a way, was when Juan brought up the obvious issue of race and the difference that I clearly represent in his mind, somebody that in no way could understand his experiences and feelings. It was the hardest moment and actually also the greatest moment in the session, because that issue had to be present and is always present for us when we are working with clients whose life experiences and backgrounds are different than our own. So how do I acknowledge the obvious fact that he's stating, and yet somehow still find a way to let him know that despite that, I believe that I have the capacity to be able to hear and somewhat understand his feeling state. That's a tricky piece, But I love the fact that he was honest and put it out there. And when he said that to me, then I knew we were having a real session. This is not somebody that was just going to soft pedal things and say things that I wanted to hear. He was being genuine and real. And I think that's all the therapist can ask for.
I mean, I learned that from what I recall in our session that my son was saying or showing or feeling is that he is beyond surfacely angry with his father, and that he's suffering. And then it's just not a teenager who is just being a brat about not wanting to go to his other parent's house. It's more than that. So that's something that I learned. I wasn't surprised when he brought up how hard it is for him to be in the body of a black boy in America. That of course it did not surprise me. It's the second I looked at him when I gave birth to him, I knew sort of what was to be later in life. And so as a parent, you grow up, you watch your child grow up and you want to prepare them, but you don't want to say too much too soon to have them looking at the world in such a deficit, like such a negative way that their back is always up. And so I've been toeing around that and sort of preparing him to hit his teens in the skin that he's in, and I did my best. But I'm not surprised that he is so aware about those things. I guess it's a big one for him to get me to compromise and allowing him to close his door for some privacy. I mean, as a parent, you hear the stories of like what kids are doing behind closed doors, and you're afraid. Is it drugs? Is he sneaking a girl in the window? Like, you don't know. And so me as a parent, like, no doors are closed, no doors are locked, because I'm in protective mode. I don't want him to make any big mistakes. But I suppose I can give him some time to himself, but there's a give or take. Like he has to continue to earn my trust and all that. And I want him to trust me too, and I want him to feel that I trust him. But all that is just with time. And you know, when you're teenagers, you make a lot of silly mistakes. So I'm just trying to help him out. But of course, I'm the enemy.
When it began, I didn't even want to be there. I just wanted to leave, if I'm being totally honest with you.
So tell me, why did you come with your mother to the session?
I'm not going to say she fully made me, but like, for the most part, I didn't really want to be there in the first place. So I went like more on the lines for her. The certain moment that I felt that he actually got me was when he took in that I said that he was a different race, and he actually understood that it would be harder for him to understand, but that he is still there to like understand me. And I felt like he was actually making an effort. When mom says it's time to talk, I feel like I might actually try to open up, but I'm still gonna have my guard up, but I'm still gonna I might open up a little bit more.